Hello, magical human. Welcome back to Madison Mindset, the podcast. My name is Madison. I'm a yoga teacher, a mindset and spirituality coach, and a very passionate human being about natural, sustainable, organic, beautiful living. So, if you're into looking into your mind, changing your mindset, spirituality, moving your body, meditating, you're in the right place. In this episode today, we're going to talk about the lymphatic system, which is something that I've been focusing on quite a lot in my yoga classes lately, and I've been learning a lot about in my personal practice. I've been doing a lot of work for this system. So I want to talk to you about that because when you look at the lymph system in a spiritual lens, what we're seeing is letting go, removing the blockages, freeing the body from the old. It's the healthy from Ayurveda, it's the river of life. It's move things through your body. We need this movement. If you don't have that movement, you've got stagnant energy. You've got a stagnant river. What does a stagnant river do? It goes gross, gets algae, looks kind of gross to swim in. You get skin conditions if you go in there, right? We don't want that. We want crystal clear, free flowing river. And the lymph system needs your help because it does not have a pump. It does not have something helping it through. What it has is you and your movement. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. We're going to go into the physical aspects of this, but we're also going to go into emotional and spiritual well-being with this. So when you're ready, let's jump in. Before we go further into this episode, I want to remind you that you have 1 month left, less than that, to book in a free 30-minute coaching call with me. So if you would like to chat, if you'd like to meet, if you'd like to talk about what's going on in your life and maybe you're struggling with something or you've got a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, whatever it is, feel free to book one of those calls. They are not coming back. They are going to finish up March 1st. So you need to book in now. Okay, you can book ahead of time. You can book into March, but you need to book in February. Okay, so now is the time. If you want to have a free 30-minute call with me, if you want to really get this year off to a good start, keep things going, go and book your call. Again, they are ending at the end of February. From the 1st of March, there will be no more free 30-minute sessions. So now is your opportunity. If you haven't already had your session with me, go and claim it now. They are not coming back. That is your call. Go down below and click the link, go and book your session. Now let's get into the physical aspects of the lymph system. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I have not professionally studied the lymph system. So I'm learning, I'm growing with it and going through my experience with it. So I'm going to read what the lymph system is about on a physical level because I'm going to be able to read it much better than I'm going to be able to explain it, especially when I'm not a doctor or anything like that. Okay, so let's just talk about it together. So after doing a little bit of research on the lymph system, just to make sure that I want to say this correctly, right? The lymphatic system is part of your immune system. You have more lymph fluid in your body than you have blood. You have 3 times more lymph fluid in your body than you have blood. So there's a lot of fluid here, right? And it's connected to lymphatic vessels, your lymph nodes, your glands under your face, under your armpits and your belly and your hips, back of your knees. All these places are really significant. And you might also notice these places are where you're supposed to be moving quite a lot, right? You're supposed to be moving your knees and moving your hips and your shoulders and your neck, right? So the lymph system is quite intelligent in the sense that it's got the nodes in those areas. So it's hoping that you move so the fluid flushes through. But what's happening? People are getting more and more stagnant. So we're getting stagnant lymph fluid. It plays a huge role in your immune system. It's clearing out the rubbish in your body. It's clearing out stuff that doesn't need to be there. It maintains healthy fluid levels in the body, removes cellular debris. So it cleans up the old cells, right? It removes harmful substances from the tissue. So your lymph system is super important, as you can hear. Now, if you want to research more about the lymph system, go for it. Go and research. We live in the age of knowledge, okay? Go and learn about your lymph system. What I want to talk to you about is the emotional and the spiritual benefits of the lymph system. And I want to talk to you a bit about how you can unblock and move through this lymph system, okay? So 2 really important aspects of your lymph system is daily movement and breathing. Your breathing and your movement act as a pump that moves the fluid around the body. So if you are not breathing properly, if you're not taking deep breaths, most of us breathe really high in the throat or really high chest. But how deep are your lungs, right? I can't even, if you're watching the video, I can't even put my hands on the screen as to where my lungs end, So we've got beautiful big lungs. They need to be moving. The diaphragm needs to be moving in order to pump this fluid through. And that's really important. Okay, now what does it feel like if you have a stagnant lymph system? It looks like fatigue. It looks like swelling in the joints and things like that. Maybe the fingers are a bit swollen. It looks like brain fog. You've got lymph fluid around your brain. That's got to move. You don't want that to stay stagnant, right? It looks like brain fog. It looks like constant, oh, I can't get up. Oh, I can't be bothered. You get sick a lot. You get a lot of colds, things like that. You get random lymph nodes kind of popping up in random places, right? It can indicate you're sick as well. It looks like that, okay? It just does not feel right. You're not functioning to the optimum capacity that you could. Okay, now in spiritual sense, the lymph system is about letting go. It's about clearing, overcoming the obstacles, releasing blockages, and moving through. Okay, and you look at so many different systems, the chakra system for one, it's all about moving energy through, clearing, cleansing, unblocking, right? The lymph system has a lot to do with all of that. It has a lot to do with all of that. Okay, even thoughts that you produce every day, the emotions that you feel, emotions are chemicals in the body. They have to be moved through. They're not supposed to stay. They're meant to move through you. They're meant to move through. You have an experience, you have a thought that creates rubbish in a sense. It creates debris that now has to move through the body. But if you keep repeating that thought, if you keep feeling that emotion, you keep clinging to it, you're not moving, you're staying stagnant, then you literally become that. You become that. It becomes like an infestation in the system. So we want to move things through. We want to let things come in and let things come out, just like a free-flowing, beautiful, crystal clear river. No obstructions. Water comes in, it clears out. In, out, daily, in, out. This is so important for us. Okay, emotionally, we got to clear out the old stuff. Let things in, let things out. Let things come in, let emotions go out. You may have heard of somatic movement, right? Where you may have heard of the example of animals. If a deer is being chased by a lion, that's obviously fight or flight, stress, nervous system. When the deer gets away, they shake it off and they return to eating. They're not holding on to it. They're not recapping what just happened in their head and talking about the trauma of it all, right? They just kind of go, okay, and they move on. That's what we want to work on doing. That somatic movement, what they're doing is shaking the adrenaline out. They're shaking that fight or flight energy, those stress hormones out of the body. Because if they sit in the body, they are incredibly dangerous. And animals know this. They know this intuitively. So that's what we need to do as well. We need to shake it off. So somatic movement is really good as well in terms of letting that stress come in, letting that trouble come in, and letting it go, letting it flow out. Okay, spiritually, if you've got a blocked lymph system, if you've got stagnation, that tends to really affect the throat area. This is a really big area for lymph drainage, right? If you've got stuck lymph, chances are you've got stuck throat chakra. You've got blockages in your throat chakra, right? So this becomes a spiritual blockage. This becomes a blockage. You're not speaking your truth. You're not aligned with your truth. You're not setting your correct boundaries. You're not saying what you feel, meaning what you say, saying what you think. You're not doing those things. You're holding everything back. You feel restricted. You feel like you can't speak. You feel like your opinion doesn't matter. You feel scared to express who you are. You feel scared to express yourself. This is all a sign of a stuck lymph system as well, because there are blockages in the body. Things need to come in and things need to go out. Nothing is meant to stay. And you can see this. Your body is literally regenerating. Your skin, your cells, everything is regenerating. You are not the same person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You're a completely regenerated being. But your body can only regenerate with what it's got. So that's why your food is so important. Your sleep is so important. The state of your mind is so important, because you are manifesting what you become. You are manifesting what you become. So we need to be able to let these things in and let those things go out. Let things in, let them go out. So what I've been doing to help myself do this, because I have noticed in recent months that a lot of my anxiety, which you've heard me talk about before, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that the reason I'm here is because of my struggle with anxiety. So I've done a lot of mindset work around that. I've practiced yoga for many years. I've practiced meditation, and it has all helped 100%. But what I've noticed is these patterns that keep coming up for me, these reoccurring patterns that keep coming up, old habits, old reactions, old ways of feeling, old ways of responding. They all seem to just keep coming up. And I'm thinking, why is that coming up? because it feels like it's coming from a deep physical level. It doesn't feel like it's coming up from a mental level. I've changed who I am. I've changed what I believe, and yet it's still coming up. So I just had this gut feeling that it was coming from my body, that my mind hadn't even had time to process how to respond before my body had already done it, because it was just the way that I respond. It was the way that I react. So what I did was go deep into the tissues of the body, the fascia, the connective tissue, the fluid in my body. Where am I blocked? Where am I stuck? I go into which parts of my body do I often experience pain? Do I often experience tension? And I was able to unravel those old blockages, those old patterns that kept coming up where this lymph fluid, this spiritual, beautiful river of life could not flow through because I hadn't released what was there physically. So I've been doing a lot of lymphatic movement, a lot of massage, a lot of brushing, a lot of tapping. You may have heard these practices, right? Yoga really helps. Any daily movement and deep breath practices are going to help your lymph system, right? Jumping helps. You may have heard of brushing, right? Gua sha on the face, that really helps with facial massage, right? Massaging and tapping, brushing lymph nodes really helps, and I incorporate all this into my daily routine. Jumping, getting upside down, all of these things help. But I've been doing a specific 5 to 10 minute routine every day. It takes no time at all. And it feels unbelievable. And I even have photo evidence of the difference in my face before and after I complete this routine. And if you're watching the video, you're going to see those two pictures right now. So this one right here was before I did my lymph routine, and this one over here was after I finished it. Can you see the change in my eyes, the brightness of my eyes? The bags under my eyes are diminished. My skin is brighter. My face is a different shape, right? That's the difference between I've just woke up, didn't get a really good night's sleep, went to bed late, feel blech, 5 to 10 minutes later. That's the difference of moving this stuff through the body. And I felt so much better after that. So I'm going to put my practice on my Patreon. So you can jump over there and subscribe to Patreon. It's only $5 a month. I always appreciate the support. The support that you give me on Patreon allows me to do these episodes, allows me to sit down and show up for you more. I really appreciate that. I always appreciate it. And as your gift for doing that, I'm going to give you my routine and want to talk you through it so you can go through it with me. All right. I also do this work with my clients. If you are interested and you want to go through a 90-minute talk about what's going on, how can we work out what stuff is stuck in you physically, emotionally, mentally, even environmentally, right? We've got to let things flow through. We've got to let the river of life cleanse. So if you would like support with your specific situation, you can go down below and book yourself a 90-minute coaching session with me where we're going to talk about this stuff. We're going to go into anything that you need to go into specifically. We're going to allow ourselves an hour and a half to sit down. I've got things to teach you. I've got questions I want to ask you. I want to know about what's going on so that I can guide you in the right direction, so that I can support you in a really beautiful way. So if you're ready to feel cleansed and like, I've got to get this stuff out, I've got to reset, I've got to move things through. I keep repeating these old patterns, these old habits, and I can't seem to shake it. I can't seem to shake this emotion, this feeling, this mood. If you're feeling like that, you've got blockages in your life, physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, and we've got to move them through. And this is a big part of that. Okay, so if you would like to feel like you're ready to move forward, like a new version of yourself, like you've let go of the old, go and book yourself a session. Not only are we going to do 90 minutes together, I'm also going to send you a follow-up email so you have all the juicy stuff going forward so you can refer to it again and again. And I'm also going to record you a 10-minute private podcast episode that will be sent directly to you. Now, why am I going to do this? Because I'm going to get the vibe of how you feel, and I'm going to send you a 10-minute love note that you can listen to anytime you feel like you need it. Personalized to you. Go and book yourself a session. I'm so excited to see you there. It's really time to let go and move forward. If not, I'll see you on Patreon. Let's move some stuff together. It is time to release and let go. Thank you so much for being here, Magical Human. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it on your Instagram stories and tag me at Madison_mindset. You can also leave a rating or a review on any platform that you listen to this podcast through. You can leave a comment down below if you're on Spotify or on YouTube. feel free to DM me, email me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm always here. I'm all ears to tune in and listen to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.